Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, How to Win Fans and Influence Newsfeeds, Increasing Your Exposure and Reach on Facebook. My name is Eliana Raggio, and I'll be your moderator today. And today's webinar is being presented by Dealeron. And for anyone who isn't familiar with Dealeron, well, we're an award-winning website development company and digital agency, best known for our search engine optimization, best-in-class customer service, and our award-winning websites. Dealeron was named the top-rated website provider by Driving Sales in 2011, and Dealeron customers were winners of the Spring 2012 Digital Dealer Website Excellence Awards. Dealeron is so committed to lead conversion, optimization, and customer service that we're the only company in the industry to offer a lead guarantee program. Oh yeah, leads guaranteed. So if your website company isn't guaranteeing you leads, well then maybe you should check us out at dealeron.com. Oh, and we have such a great show in store for you today. We're very pleased to have Arnold Tiarina as our presenter today. Arnold Tiarina is the social media strategist and policy manager for Three Birds Marketing, a digital marketing agency whose core product is a cutting-edge, patent-pending e-newsletter named House. They also offer a fully managed reputation social media solution. He was the Director of Interactive Media for Dealer Communications, who publishes Dealer Magazine and hosts the Digital Dealer Conference and Expo. He has over 10 years' experience in the auto industry, with 7 of those coming from retail in sales and management positions, and most of his experience as an Internet director before going to the vendor side. He's an active and respected member of the online automotive community and is known for his expertise in digital marketing and social media. An active speaker, writer, and blogger, he can be reached at arnold@threebirdsmarketing.com. Now, during the presentation, if you have any questions, please use the question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer those questions of general interest. If we're unable to get to your question live, don't worry, we're going to respond by email later today. Also, don't forget, a link to download a copy of today's webinar recording is also going to be emailed to you later today for your reference, and please feel free to share it with friends and colleagues. And hey, Dealeron is going to be at the upcoming Digital Dealer Convention in Las Vegas, baby. So if you're going to be there, you need to come visit us at booth 1211. The Digital Dealer Conference and Expo it's just such a great conference. It always is. It's going to be October 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Mirage. And I am going to be there, and I want to meet you. So you've got to come and check out booth 1211. And also, check out the speaking sessions from some members of the Dealeron executive team. And just in case, we're also going to be broadcasting live from the Digital Dealer Convention in Vegas on Thursday, October 25th, with none other than our fearless leader, Ali Amirazvani, President and CEO of Dealeron. He's going to be schooling us all on advanced SEO for dealers, what still works on Google. That's something all of us need to know. So if you can't make it out to Vegas, then I hope to see you all on our webinar on October 25th. And you know what? We're not going to be alone in Vegas. Three Birds Marketing is also going to be right there with us. In fact, they're right next to us in booth 1209. So come visit them too and check out their speaking session as well. Kristen Judd, President and co-founder of Three Birds Marketing, will be presenting with Chad Smith, their Chief Technology Officer. Oh, you definitely don't want to miss that one. Hope to see you there in Vegas. And guess what? Our great friends at Three Birds Digital Marketing are offering up a fabulous prize for one lucky attendee today. What is it? They're giving away 6 months of their House solution to one very lucky winner. House is a feature-packed digital marketing solution that will help you dominate your SEO footprint and increase customer top-of-mind awareness while maximizing your sales and service opportunities. Add in their powerful data analytics and reporting, and you have one of the most powerful tools that any dealership can have in their arsenal. And this prize is valued at over $4,000. Woo-hoo! All you have to do is answer a simple question toward the end of the presentation, and you could be walking away with this amazing prize today. Also, at the conclusion of the webinar, you're going to receive a short survey. Please fill it out because we're always looking for great feedback from our audience, and today we're going to randomly select some winners from all the completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. Lots of stuff happening today, so let's get started. Let's learn how to increase your exposure and reach on Facebook. Arnold Tiarina, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm excellent. How are you, Eliana?
I'm doing so good, and I am so excited for this. Arnold, I want you to know I've done lots and lots of webinars in my day, but when it comes to our Dealer On webinars, you, my friend, are the very first person who's ever come to us speaking specifically about Facebook. And Facebook is such a huge part of what dealerships are doing now today with their digital marketing plan. So I'm very, very excited to hear what you have to say and how you can help our dealers today increase their exposure and reach on Facebook. Why don't you tell everyone what we're going to be learning today?
Well, Eliana, I want to go over real quick for the beginners in the audience, just what I mean by Facebook's in charge, and basically how Facebook determines what people see and what they don't see. Just for people that may not be familiar with it. Then I'm going to talk about different ways to gain fans, get more exposure within their newsfeed, and then we'll have a question and answer session at the end for any questions that I may or may not have covered during the presentation.
I think that's great. And certainly if you come up with a question, send it on, and I'll just hold on to it until we get to that question and answer session at the end. Right, Arnold? Arnold, you're still
Absolutely.
with me, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, rock everyone's socks off with all these awesomeness about Facebook.
Great. All right, well, first I just wanted to go over some facts about Facebook. As of October 2012, they hit a milestone with 1 billion users. If you take the collective time that people in the United States spend on Facebook each month, it would equal 100,000 years. That basically boils down to about 6.5 hours per month per user. And they get about 167 million unique visitors a month. So, that's the biggest reason I think why marketers and businesses want to have a presence on Facebook and want to communicate with people. So here's some fast facts for businesses. Basically, this is in regards to Facebook ads. Only about 0.5% there's about a 0.51% click-through rate on Facebook ads, which is about half of the global performance for all pay-per-click ads. Excuse me. The increase in the first quarter of 2012 in the amount of money a business spent to gain a Facebook fan, it was 43%, and an increase in cost was about 23%. So what does that mean? Well, obviously, I'm not a huge fan of Facebook ads. I've heard a lot of feedback from dealers, and just basically saying it's not working for them. Basically there's a high cost, it's a high demand, and they're getting less engagement than ever on Facebook ads. So what do we do, and how do we communicate with our fans? Because you can gain exposure through Facebook without using Facebook ads. Of course, Facebook will tell you that that's the best way to do it, but of course, they recently went public, and that's how they have to monetize their business. So, why do you want to be on Facebook? Well, with 1 billion people, chances are your audience is on Facebook. So, what do consumers say about Facebook pages? Well, 87% of consumers say they're willing to like a page. Well, what are their motivations? So, 82% of that 87% say that a Facebook page is a good place to interact with their audience. 35% feel that brands listen more on Facebook than anywhere else, and 75% feel more connected. 69% say they like the Facebook page because a friend of theirs did, and surprisingly, 50% of that 87% said that they find a business's Facebook page more useful than their website. So now let's look at what motivates them to like a Facebook page. So 34% say that they go to a business's Facebook page and like it for promotions and discounts. 21% say they go for free giveaways. 14% go because they're a loyal customer of yours. 11% go because they trust your brand, and then everything else is 20%. Now I've highlighted some statistics in red, and those are the ones I'm going to be focusing on today. So the top 3 ways that consumers interact with a Facebook page is that they go get coupons and offers. The second way is that they like and comment on new posts. And the third way is that they're there to learn about new products. So if you're not familiar, there's something called a newsfeed, and this is the first page that people see when they log on. And this is kind of a collation of what Facebook feels is relevant to them. So you're not seeing everything that everybody you know posts. And then there's something called the timeline. The timeline is your actual Facebook page itself. So that's where you're posting your content. And the idea is to get the content you post on your timeline into your audience's newsfeed. So why is that important? Well, the newsfeed is a passive delivery method for your content. You know, the consumer doesn't have to do anything but log into Facebook. Whereas the timeline, you know, they actually have to take action and go to your Facebook page, whether that's searching you or clicking on your website button or in the direct mail piece. So how does Facebook determine what someone sees? Well, they use an algorithm called EdgeRank. Now, this looks really complicated, but it's really not. You know, I hate math personally, and you know, if this were an algebraic formula, I would stay away from it. So what are the 3 pieces of information that Facebook looks at? They look at something called affinity, they look at something called weight, and then time decay. Now keep in mind that EdgeRank is individual, and I'll go over that what that means in a second. So what's infinity, or what's in affinity? Affinity is how close you are with an individual, and what that means is basically how relevant are you to them. So the more they interact with you, the more Facebook is going to determine that they have a close relationship with you. Now, again, affinity is one way. Now, what does that mean? That means that just because they interact with you doesn't mean that you see more of them. So let's say you're a Facebook stalker and you're stalking your ex-girlfriend. Well, just because, you know, you're seeing more of her stuff because Facebook has determined it's relevant to you, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to see more of your stuff because you're not necessarily relevant to her. So how do you get more relevant to your fans? Well, of course, it's engagement. So the second thing is weight. Well, certain content is more likely to appear in news feeds than others. So the top piece of content that does appear in newsfeed is pictures, followed by videos, then links, and then status updates. And again, weight is also individual. So someone that interacts with pictures more than, let's say, videos is going to see more pictures in their newsfeed, whereas someone that clicks on a lot of links, they're going to see more links. Now, the reason I had Audi up before is because if you notice the graphic on the right, surprisingly, you know, Audi is the most engaged Facebook page, period. Even over Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga, which surprised even me.
Audi. Audi?
Audi.
Really?
Absolutely.
Who is Chamillionaire, or is it Chamillionaire?
I have no idea. I'm assuming it's a rapper or some kind of artist, but
if anyone out there knows who Chamillionaire is, could you please write into us?
I'm
but
obviously too old for Chamillionaire.
The most engaging Facebook page ever is Audi.
Right. That's currently right, and that's all pages with over 100,000 fans.
Okay, Kaliko and Megan are very hip, and they both said he's a rapper. Oh, and apparently your friend Austin also knows that he's a rapper, and so we don't know that. So thank you very much for that.
No problem. So the last piece is time decay, and you know, basically all time decay is how much time has passed since you posted your article or piece of content, and all that means is, you know, the newer it is, the more likely it's going to be to appear in the news feed, and the older it is, the less likely. So, you know, in the automotive space, you know, I like to use Audi as an example because, you know, they're the most successful Facebook page in existence, and we're in the automotive space. So why wouldn't we want to look at Audi and see what they're doing and take advantage of some of their strategies? So what do they use? Pictures. They use pictures. If you look on Audi's Facebook page, you will not find a single post that's not a picture. They don't have links. They do have some videos, but everything is either a picture or a video. So there's no straight links at all. There's no status updates or anything. What else do they post? Nothing. That's exactly right. Nothing. So, one strategy that they utilize is, as you can see in this particular example, there's a picture of an Audi, but at the top, in the actual text that goes over the picture, I don't know if you'd call it a caption because it's not under the picture, but there's a shortened URL, and that URL actually leads to the review that they're saying Automobile Magazine posted about them. So the way to do that, it's very easy, is that you would just add the photo, just like you're posting a photo, choose the file, and after you've chosen the file, then you can go and enter the text, and if you include a link in the text, this is what it's going to look like. Now, I suggest using a shortener like Bitly or Owly because they're free and they look better. So some URLs are really long. So now that you understand EdgeRank, like I said, I went through that real fast because I wanted to get to more of the meat and potatoes of the presentation. How do you leverage it to increase your exposure? Well, there are a few tools on Facebook. But first you have to understand that, why it's important to talk to the right people. I'm a very big advocate of not buying likes. A lot of people judge, whether their Facebook page is successful by how many people like it. And personally, I would rather have 100 people like my page that are my customers or potential customers that live in my area and could potentially do business with me than 100,000 people that, would never do business with me. Now, the picture on the right is Taj Mahal, and we all know that's in India. And when you buy likes, the data shows that the majority of the people that you're gaining are from India. For whatever reason, I don't know. But, unless you sell lots of cars in India or do business in India, then it's kind of pointless. It'd be like you, if you're a dealer in California, taking out a newspaper ad in a newspaper in Florida. You're talking to the wrong people, and it's just wasted money. So how do you build an audience? The best way to build an audience is in your store. You have to paper your store with messages so that no matter where they are, they see that you have a Facebook presence. So, put signs on your door, stick tabletop tent cards on, the salespeople's desk, stick signs in service, get hang tags for the cars, put a sign in parts. Secondly, make sure that it's very prominent on your website. I suggest it being on your homepage and not in like a drop-down menu. And the third is to integrate it into your CRM and all your communications. Stick it in your email templates, put it in all your email signatures, and then on top of that, integrate it into all your marketing. So all your traditional marketing that you're already doing, that newspaper ad, whether you're doing it daily or weekly or just on the weekends, you're already doing it. All you have to do is put in your Facebook address in there. So, it's not costing you any more than you're already spending. So, how do you get people to engage with you? Well, the biggest way is compelling content. Everybody likes pictures of kittens, right? That's why I have a nice little picture of kittens. I'm not suggesting
kittens and babies.
That's right. And I'm not suggesting, I'm not saying post pictures of kittens every day. It's not what I'm saying at all. This is just a cool little picture. So, anyways, we're going to start right now. I'd like to poll the audience if it's okay with you.
That's a great idea. Okay, Arnold, sit tight. Audience, we need your help. Please take a moment, look at your screen, go to your keyboard, and help us out. We want to know, are you currently creating non-sales related content? Because I know a lot of dealerships out there, they go out there and everything they have is, hey, we just got this great deal on this car, and hey, we're going to have a tent sale. Hey, if you need a car, come and see us. But are you doing anything else? Are you creating non-sales related content? For this question, just answer yes or no. And oh my gosh, almost everyone's voted already. I must be talking too much. So thank you so much for your votes. You guys are awesome. We're going to close this poll and share the results. Arnold, remember when I told you that my audience is incredible?
Yes,
And
I
I
remember
told you
that.
they're not going to pull any punches, and they're a tough audience. 96% of today's webinar audience said yes, they are creating non-sales related content.
Wow, that's certainly above the industry average, and I am not surprised at all because, I kind of figure that most of the people that are seeking an education get it. What I mean by get it is they understand that they can't just say sell, buy, buy, buy. So I'm not surprised, and I'm very happy to hear that.
Me too. But you know what, audience? We're not quite done yet. Now that you've answered that question, we need you to go to the second question. So now that we know that you're creating compelling content, we want to know, how do you share your compelling content? So for this one, select all the answers that apply. How are you sharing your compelling content? Do you do it on social sites like Facebook and Twitter? Do you have a blog that you share it on? Or maybe you have a newsletter? Do you do it through email blasts? Or do you post it on your dealership website? Or maybe it's, it's a recipe of 2 or 3 or maybe all 5 of these. Whatever it is, let us know. This is really going to help Arnold out and really going to help us figure out what the dealerships out there today are doing. And we still have some votes coming in, and we thank you so much for all. My goodness, almost everyone's voted now. You guys are rock today. Everyone, they must have all had their Wheaties today because they're all voting. So we're going to close this poll. Thank you so much for all the votes. We really appreciate it. We're going to close this poll and share the results. So now if you look at your screen, you'll see 100% of today's audience, thankfully, are sharing their compelling content on social sites like Facebook and Twitter. No wonder they came to a webinar about Facebook. But Arnold, I want you to also know, 44% of today's audience said they also posted on their blog. 50% said that they post it in their newsletters. 56% said they send it out in email blasts. And 59% said they also post it on their dealership website. So we have a very, very interactive audience today. Thank you so much, everyone, for those votes. What did you think about that, Arnold?
I thought that was great. I mean, obviously, I'd rather see it at 96%, but I mean, it's encouraging that people are integrating this content that they're creating in more ways than just the obvious, being like Facebook or wherever.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And I also wanted to point out, we had one of our attendees, Rocky, wrote in. He says at his dealership they use the 80-20 rule when it comes to compelling content and sales content. 80% is non-sales related, 20% is sales related. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, figuring out what your audience wants to see and integrating what you want them to hear is certainly a good strategy because obviously you're in the business to sell cars or whatever you're selling, and you just can't be too spammy. And I'll go over that a little bit more.
Yes, yes. And Rocky, thank you for that comment. Okay, audience, one last question for you. So now we know that you have compelling content, and now we know where you share your compelling content. We want to know, how often are you sharing your compelling content? For this question, just answer one of the following selections. Do you share your compelling content several times a day? Or maybe you do it once a day? Do you do it more than that, maybe a few times a week, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a week maybe? Or do you do it just once a month? Or do you have all this great compelling content and you never share it? So once we figure that out, we're going to move right along with the rest of Arnold's presentation. And thank you so much for your votes. They're voting fast today. We very much appreciate it. Let's close this poll and share the results. Arnold, 45% of today's audience said that they share their compelling content a few times a week. 45%. 31% said that they do it once a day. An amazing 21% of today's audience said that they do it several times in a day. I'm very impressed by you people who are in the 21%, by the way. And 3% said that they do it once a month. No one said that they never do it, never. So that's fantastic news. What do you think about that, Arnold?
Well, no, I mean, I think it's great. It really depends on like how much engagement you're getting on how often you should be sharing. But again, if I go back to the example of Audi, which I can't see any reason why you wouldn't want to utilize their the strategies that they do. They post daily, so now they're only posting once a day, but that seems to work for them. So, it really depends on what kind of content you're sharing. I don't think it's a bad idea or out of line to share a couple times a day, occasionally, but I wouldn't do it every day personally.
Gotcha. Well, what would you do? Oh, look at that. Do's and don'ts.
All right. Well, okay. So the first idea is that obviously we discussed that you need engagement so that you get that affinity with your fans. So it's just like anything else you do. You need a call to action. So do ask questions. I mean, you can post your picture, but I would always have some kind of engaging question, or a lot of times with that picture. Be creative. Don't just say what kind of car do you like, or if you're a Toyota dealer, what's your favorite Toyota. And I'm not saying you can't ask those things, but but be creative. You can talk about movies. You can talk about anything. Pop culture. Again, like anything else, I would stay away from politics and religion and those kind of things. And join the conversation. If people are engaging with you, acknowledge them. Go on there and like their comment. It shows them that you're paying attention, and thank them for it, or talk back to them. And I say don't sell. And this goes back to most dealers, they got a Facebook page because their manufacturer or their district rep told them, hey, you need one, and all they want to do is say buy, buy, buy. But you say that in like almost everything else you do, in your email blasts, in your newspaper ads, and everything else. So people come to Facebook to be social. They don't come to Facebook necessarily to buy something, because not all your fans are going to be in the market. These are going to be people that you could do business with in service. Maybe they bought a car from you. If they bought a car 2 weeks ago, they certainly don't want to hear buy a car. So anyway, the first tool that you can use on Facebook is called Facebook Deals. Now this is a free tool. It is location based. Okay, so 74% of people that utilize location based services say they use it to get information. So basically, they're using their mobile phone to pull up, Yelp or whatever to see what's around them. But only 18% of them actually check into that location. Now that is a 12% increase over last year. So, out of the people that are using location-based services, 90% of them use Facebook Places. Out of the 55% of people said that even though they don't use location-based services, they would use them, if they were going to use one, they would use Facebook Places. And again, the highest motivating factor for both was coupons. That's what people are looking for. So, why is Facebook Places such a big deal? Okay, so back up here. So you can see over here, basically, if they're pulling up this information on their phone, and this is the first screen they're going to see. Now, if you're in an auto mall or something, this is particularly powerful, because even though you might be the only Honda dealer, everybody sells used cars, so everybody's a competitor. Now, someone that is going to check in, let's say they're at the dealership across the street. They have to pull this up, and it'll show all the places around them. But if you have a Facebook deal, which I'm going to show you how to set up in a minute, they're going to see like this little indicator that shows there is a special offer at this location. So, curiosity, they might click on it and say, hey, okay, let me see what this offer is. And you can tailor this offer in lots of different ways, which I'll also explain. So basically, it pulls it up. They see this is what they offer. In this case, it's a coffee shop, and it says check in, and you're going to get half price off a cup of coffee. So there's a call to action there. They're going to save some money. They check in, and then it takes them to a redemption screen, which basically says, show this to the cashier to get your free, half-price cup of coffee. Now, why is this strong? Well, when they check in, there's an automatic share. So what that means is that it automatically goes onto their wall or their newsfeed and says, like in this example, Yvonne Chen claimed a deal at, that Slider Bar Cafe. And if they tag their friends, if they had people with them and they decided to tag their friends, it'll show them as well, and it will show up in their newsfeed. It'll show what they redeemed. So in this example, it's 20% off your order. It'll show if there's a quantity restriction. It'll show how many are left and then how long the offer has until there's an expiration. And it will prompt them that, go to that place and check in to get this deal. Now, the reason it's important is this is visible to their extended network. So now, here you had somebody that was a fan of your page, or they weren't a fan of your page, but they were in the area and decided to claim your deal. So, but now on top of that, you're visible to their extended network. So let's say this Yvonne Chen person, obviously she's in this auto mall, she looked, she saw this, this special, whether it was for an oil change or whether it was for, hey, come in for a free gift or $500 off a used car or whatever you decide you want to offer, that was shared. And not only was it, it was shared with her, obviously on her wall, but everybody saw it. And the strongest part is that it cannot be hidden. So even if their friends, when their friends do see it, it's not like a Farmville or any other kind of post on a wall where you can, go up into this top right corner and click hide and never see it again. So it's a very strong marketing tool. However, not everybody uses check-in services. So that leads us, oh, sorry, I'm a little ahead of myself. I want to show you real quick how to set up a Facebook deal. It's really easy. You go to your Facebook page if you're an your administrator. You click on Edit Page, then Update Info, and on the very bottom left, it'll say Deals. So these are the types of deals that you can create. You can create an individual deal, which just obviously it's one person. You're saying, hey, check in and get a free cup of coffee. You can create a friend deal, which means, hey, you bring a friend and check in together to basically earn this discount or whatever. There's a loyalty deal where that's again to an individual, but it's based on multiple check-ins. So you can say, it's kind of like a punch card at a coffee shop where your fifth cup of coffee, you earn a cup of coffee for free. It's kind of the same thing. But again, every time they redeemed it, it went on their wall. And then there's a charity deal, which is saying, hey, check in and we'll donate $1 to whatever your charity of choice is, or however much you want to donate. So then you define your offer, tell them how to claim it. You can put in any details and restrictions, like a start and an end date. You can say how many you want available, and you can say whether they're able to claim this every day or once in a lifetime. So I mean, obviously, until you change this. But this is, a turnkey solution in the sense that once you set it up, you can manage it as often or as never. I mean, you can set the ending date, to 2015 if you want, and it'll just eternally be there. So, how do you get exposure to? Okay, how do you get exposure to people? Well, a new feature is called promoted posts. Now, to utilize this feature, you need to have 400 likes. So if you don't have 400 likes on your Facebook page, then the first goal should be to gain those likes. And you can use Facebook deals to do that, and then like I was showing you before, just put it everywhere at your dealership, on your website, and everywhere else to gain those likes. I don't suggest doing giveaways unless you really restrict them to someone in your area, meaning that they have to actually come to your dealership in some way, because that will really limit people from liking your page simply to get whatever you're giving away and then unliking it after the contest is over. So if you can see the difference, here, this is the example I'm using is from my blog. I have a Facebook page for my blog. Now, this example on the left is a blog post I wrote about the iPhone 5. And I wrote that because people asked me for my opinion on the iPhone 5. It wasn't industry related, which is typically what I write about. So, I didn't bother promoting it or doing anything. But you can see that only 62 people saw this post. Now, on average, about 16% of your audience sees what you write, which, if you, in my example, I have about 620 fans, so you can see that only 62 people saw it. So that's, roughly 10%. Now, a promoted post, this cost me $10. So, and that's, roughly, it does it by audience size. So the more fans you have, the more exposure you're going to be able to pay for. But in this example, it was $10, and you can see the difference. This was actually a promotion for this webinar, and I did promote it, and there were almost 2,400 people that saw this post. So, I had 191 organic, and then 41 went viral, which means that people shared it with their networks on their wall. And then it showed up in 2,359 people's newsfeed. So.
And that only cost you $10?
And right, exactly, $10. Now, if you compare that to like a Facebook ad, it's crazy inexpensive. It really is. Very, very marginal for that kind of exposure. So the last thing is also brand new, just came out of beta. It's called Facebook Offers. Now, the difference between a Facebook deal and a Facebook offer is that a Facebook offer does not require a check-in. So this is not location-based. So again, for whatever reason, Facebook has this 400 number that they think is magical or something. But you have to have 400 fans. Does not require a check-in. You can make it an in-store offer, or you can make it a website offer, or you can make it both. So basically, it works the same as deals in the sense that you would set it up the same, and I will show you on the next slide, I believe, how to do that. But every time someone shares it, or every time someone claims the offer, again, it gets shared on their wall. It's exposed to their extended network, and it can't be hidden. So, and it also obviously presents that offer to their friends, so they can see, hey, Joe, took advantage of this offer, and it'll also show how many other people took advantage of the offer, and obviously there's a call to action that says get this offer. So, how do you do it? Well, if you're eligible, meaning that you have 400 fans, it's going to show up in the status update bar. So basically, in the same exact place where you would, put your link or upload your picture or everything, there's going to be a button, if you see here, that says offer or event. Then you're going to go to another screen that says, what kind of offer, if it's in-store, online, or both. You can put, a web address if it applies, and a redemption code if you need to. You can upload a picture, write some content about the offer, preview it. You can, again, put restrictions, any kind of disclaimers you need to, any kind of quantity you want to limit it to. And then again, this is exactly like promoted posts in cost. So if you see, and this is similar, this is an example of even what a promoted post would look like. So it gives you different examples based on the results that Facebook can deliver based on your audience size. So in this example, this Facebook page has a large audience. So you can see here, $25 can get it. We'll get an estimated reach of 24 to 45,000 people, et cetera, et cetera. So you decide how much money do I want to spend, and then you go from there. So the best of both worlds. Well, you can combine offers with promoted posts, and this also applies to deals. I just didn't say that on the slide. I apologize. So if you create a deal, then you can share that deal onto your wall. Now, the reason that's important for a deal is because that's how somebody will see that you have a deal available without having to look it up on their mobile phone. So, with the deals, if they're not at your store or in the area, they're only going to see that you have an offer on their phone. Whereas this way, you can share that with your audience, and now they'll know if I go to the store, I can claim this offer. And then again, I just went over what offers were, and you can also share that on your wall. But once it's shared on your wall, whether it's the deal that you're offering or the offer that you're offering, that kind of sounded funny, but anyways, you can promote that on top of that. So now going back to my example on my blog, instead of 62 people seeing my offer, I would have 2,400 people seeing my offer. So, and you can tailor that offer to whatever you want to promote, and you can promote something, as often as you want. Now, deals requires approval. So what do I mean by that? You can only have one active deal at a time, and when you enter it, it does go through an approval process. Sometimes it's quick, within a few hours, and sometimes it can take up to 48 hours. So, just beware of that. What does this do? Well, this is a way to generate revenue on your Facebook page. I mean, we've talked about creating compelling content, and someone mentioned like an 80-20 rule, which is a good strategy. But this is also a way, we saw that the biggest motivator, why people like your Facebook page in the first place is because you're offering something, a discount, a coupon. And when you say it's a Facebook deal, then you need to live up to that. If you're telling people, hey, go like our page for discounts, then you need to make sure you deliver that. In addition to the content that you're creating, the non-sales related content. And again, using these tools, it'll increase your exposure. The biggest thing is you're penetrating into their extended networks, because remember, if you just post it on your page, you already have that audience. I mean, they're there, assuming they haven't hidden you, which they can do, and then you completely lost them. So that's another reason why you don't want to spam your audience with buy, buy, buy. But it increases your exposure to their networks, and that's what you want to do, because if this is a customer that likes your Facebook page, the chances are that a good percentage of their friends are also going to be in your local area, and those are certainly people that you would want to talk to and target. And we saw earlier in the facts that 69% of people like the Facebook page because their friend did. Using this, you're guaranteed visibility in Newsfeeds. So, Facebook promotes their monetary items, basically. So, if you got Facebook ads, if you use offers, if you use deals, this is a way that they're monetizing Facebook, so their stock doesn't tank any more than it has already, and it can't be hidden, which is another benefit. And it really doesn't cost it that much. If I wanted to, I promoted that post, it cost me $10. Let's say I could have made an offer, or I could have made, well, I wouldn't have made a deal, because I have a location, but I don't have a business like retail. But if I could have made an offer for a free webinar, let's say, and then promoted that, and it would have cost me $20 to get access and exposure to 2,400 people. So, as a recap, obviously, build your audience organically. I can't stress that enough. You want to talk to the right people. If you're talking to people in India or across the country, or these random people that will never do business with you, then you're just wasting your breath. I mean, whether you're spending money or not, you're wasting your breath. I say post only pictures and videos. Look, we're in the automotive space. Audi is the top engaged Facebook page. Why not follow their example? You can post pictures and still have a link to whatever content that you want. So, if you want to send them to a review or anything like that, you still have the ability to do that. Create compelling content. There's lots of content around your dealership. A lot of people feel that they have to be some master writer or anything like that to have compelling content. I mean, you can do employee spotlights. If your employees are doing anything interesting, if you can make videos of your service department, interview techs, talk to sales managers, talk to salespeople about their interests and their backgrounds. Humanize yourself. I mean, that's all content. If you have any kind of community involvement or charitable involvement or anything like that. Number 4 is engage, analyze, and adapt. And what I mean by that is, you want to engage, which is what we talked about. Ask questions, respond to their questions. But on top of that, go back on a monthly basis, because this is really trial by error. I mean, every audience is going to be different. A Volkswagen audience is going to want to see different stuff than a Mercedes audience. So it's a different demographic. So you're going to go back and see, okay, well, what are they engaging in? What kind of content? Is it sports car stuff? Is it stuff about pictures of people taking deliveries of cars? Which is also great content. And then adapt your strategy. If they're engaging a lot on videos, then post more videos. If they're engaging with pictures, do it that way. If maybe they're engaging with your questions. You ask a question, you're getting tons of answers and comments, and do that more often. There's no reason why you as a dealership, or any business for that matter, with a retail location shouldn't utilize Facebook deals. It's free. It's free, and you can manage it and or not manage it as much as you want. But someone that is going to, may not be a huge market right now of people using location-based services, but the fact that it's there. I mean, if you're in an auto mall and you know that 20% of the people in that auto mall are going to check in on Facebook, why wouldn't you want to have a presence, and not only that, offer a deal? A lot of businesses are not utilizing this, so you're going to stand out. Utilize Facebook offers. For $10 to have an offer, you create coupons and you send them direct mail to 50,000 people or whatever, and you get a 1% return on that as far as people actually redeeming those coupons. This is $10. I guarantee you spent a lot more than $10 to send out that mailer. And then combine those with promoted posts. That increases the exposure, so that instead of 60 people, you're seeing 2,400 people. And my guess, because I don't really do much engaging with my audience on my blog's website or my blog's Facebook page, I pretty much use it as a delivery system to notify people that I've written a blog, so that they're not really having to go to my blog to see if there's new content. They look at Facebook and they see it and they want to read it, then there's an indicator that it exists. So now we're at the question and answer section.
That was excellent, Arnold. Thank you. I like it when I do webinars with somebody and I actually learn something myself. So thank you so much for opening my eyes as well. I very much appreciate it.
I hope everyone else learned something.
I'm sure they must, because they're all asking questions. We're going to get to the questions in just a minute. But right now, it is that time. If you were with us at the very top of the show, then you heard me announce that our good friends at Three Birds Digital Marketing are offering up a great prize today for one lucky attendee. What is it? They're giving away 6 months of their house solution to one winner. They're giving away the house, basically. So what do you have to do? Well, just so you know, on the screen right now is an explanation of exactly what House is. But House is a cutting-edge, patent-pending e-newsletter. Quite frankly, it's a game changer. House is a feature-packed digital marketing solution that will help you dominate your SEO footprint and increase customer top-of-mind awareness while maximizing your sales and service opportunities. Add in their powerful data analytics and reporting, and you have a very powerful tool that any dealership should have in their arsenal. And this prize is valued at $4,170. It is a 6-month free subscription to House. All you have to do is answer a simple question about the presentation. People are writing in, ooh, me, me, me. No, no, no. You got to answer a question. And it's not going to be a terribly simple question either. First one to write in the correct response is going to be walking away with this awesome prize today. So get in front of your computers, get in front of your screens, get in front of your keyboards, get your fingers all worked up and ready. Here we go. The question is, remember, first one to write in the correct response wins. Good luck, everyone. Name the 3 components of EdgeRank. Name the 3 components of EdgeRank. You heard Arnold talk about it earlier, and then he went into detail about exactly what it, oh my goodness, we have a winner! Yay! Yay! I'm so excited! Man, we have lots of people that wrote in all at the same time, but you know, this cute little software over here tells me exactly who was the first one to write in. So I have to say, everyone who wrote in, yes, you all had the right answer. But the one winner for today, the very first person who wrote in was, let me see if I can get his whole last name in here, Rocky Rawstern. Rocky Rawstern wrote in Affinity, Weight, and Time Decay. That is correct. Rocky, congratulations. You are our winner today. Rocky, if you could write in and let us know what dealership you're from, we'd like to announce that as well. Rocky Rawstern, our winner today of this amazing prize, 6 months of House, a $4,170 value. I'm so happy for you. You are in, Arnold, just so you know, Southern Oregon Subaru. Southern
Sweet.
Oregon Subaru, all the way over there.
Congratulations, Rocky.
Congratulations, Rocky. We're going to have somebody from the Three Birds marketing team contact you when? Today, tomorrow, something like that?
I could probably get someone to contact him today.
Ah, Rocky, if you're available, you'll be hearing from somebody at Three Birds Marketing right away. So thank you so much, and thank you, everyone, for playing along. And don't worry, we always have some cool prizes from our peeps, from our presenters, and this one was definitely a very cool prize. So Three Birds Marketing, thank you so much for offering up such a great, great promotion. I want to get started on the questions, if we could. Oh, Arnold, you're so good. Okay, first question comes to us from Melissa. She says, how many times a day should we be posting? What is optimal?
Well, I think once a day is enough, personally. Any more than that, you know, people start seeing you too much. Because you got to remember that the average person on Facebook has about 150 friends. So, you know, Facebook, again, isn't showing even them everything that all their friends post, much less the things that you post. So once a day, but I would also vary the times of day that you're posting. Because, you know, some people will look at Facebook while they're drinking their morning cup of coffee. You know, some people will look at it while they're eating lunch. Some people will look at it when they get home from work. So, you know, you never know when they're going to be looking. And then you got the time decay factor. So obviously the newer it is to them, the more likely they are to see it. So, you know, I would vary, you know, posting from, you know, morning on one day, evening on another day, and then maybe an afternoon, and just go back and forth like that.
I see, I see. Okay, because I was just curious. Now, remind me again, what does Audi do? Audi does it once a day, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Audi does it once a day, and I really suggest that, you know, anybody on the webinar, you know, go check out Audi's page. Just go look at their Facebook page, Audi USA, and you know, you can see what they're doing, and it's just, you know, the engagement that they get is incredible. I mean, yeah, they have a ton of fans, but you know, when you boil it down, and I do have a way for you to kind of gauge your fans and how much they're engaging with you, and I'd be happy to share that with you if you're interested. But you know, there are a lot of pages that, I mean, get very low engagement, but it seems like they're getting very high engagement based on, you know, the amount of engagement. But you know, when you will boil it down, you analyze it and look at statistics. You know, someone that has, you know, 2 million fans, let's say like a Lady Gaga. I don't know exactly how many fans she has, because I don't tend to go to Lady Gaga's fan page. But
she's not in your genre?
No,
Her and Chamillionaire or whatever?
No, they're not in my genre. But But the point is that, you know, they could get 200,000 comments on a post, but, you know, that's 1% of their audience, you know, and they're not getting 200,000 comments. So, you know, they're probably, you know, I would guess a 50,000, if that. And so, you know, they're really at like 0.25%. So, you know, like I said, while it seems like they're getting high engagement, they're really not.
Gotcha. Okay, let's get to some more of these questions, Arnold, because we do have quite a number that came in. And Melissa, certainly if you have a follow-up question, please let us know. Next question comes to us from Mary. She says, isn't the promoted post the same thing as a Facebook ad?
No. A Facebook ad is going to show up on the right side of the news feed. So, you know, basically you're looking at your news feed, and on the right side at kind of the top right corner, you know, usually you'll see like 3 or 4 ads. And this is Facebook delivering up what it thinks is relevant to you. And most of the time, in my experience, it's not. But that's where that's being delivered, whereas a promoted post is going to be in the news feed. Now, it does say sponsor story, but, you know, it's just at the bottom, and but that's the difference between a Facebook ad and a promoted post.
Okay.
And also, Facebook ads, you know, tend to work more like a pay-per-click ad in the sense that you can pay via impressions or by click. And like I explained, you know, the cost of those in comparison to the engagement that people are getting is, in my opinion, not worth the effort.
Oh, okay. Mary, I hope that helped you out, which leads us directly into Mitch's question. Mitch wants to know, what's the difference with the deals and the offers? What is the difference between deals and offers?
Okay, so deals are location-based, which means that they have to be at your store to claim that offer.
To claim the deal.
To claim the deal, excuse me.
Okay.
So they're going to have to pull it up on their mobile phone, look for your location, see the offer, and claim it. Whereas an offer, they can claim that offer on your, you could make that an in-store or a website promotion. And the difference is that when they claim that offer, it actually emails them the offer. So then they have a physical printed out form. If it's a website offer, it'll have like whatever coupon code or redemption code you decided to include so that they could, claim that offer via your e-commerce site if you, sell anything on there like parts or
Okay,
anything.
so that we understand, if I open up a Facebook deal and let's say it's 50% off of a set of 4 tires, right? And
Right.
then they have to be at the dealership, they're ringing me up and I say, hey, I want to get this deal, right? Or if I have an offer and it's 50% off of a set of 4 tires, they'll email me the offer and then I can call, make my appointment and say, hey, I have this coupon for 50% off. Is that right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Well, Mitch, I hope that explained it. Okay, next question comes to us from Lisa. She says, how is the cost for promoted posts calculated?
Well, they don't actually, they've never actually explained exactly. I mean, it's based on the amount of people that Facebook feels it can deliver your post to that would be relevant. So when you start using promoted posts, that number is going to be relatively low in comparison to your audience. So as an example, when I first ran my first promoted post, and again, being in social media, I use that kind of stuff to kind of, when they have new features, I test them out. When I first did it, the maximum amount of people that they thought they could deliver the ad to was, I believe, in the 300 to 400 people range, and the promoted post cost me $5. As they delivered it and as I used promoted posts more, they were able to deliver it to more people based on the amount of people that they could deliver it to the first time, in addition to the viral people and the other people that happened to see that post. So it increased basically, and the next time I did it, and then I had an option not only of the reaching 400 people for $5, but then it was I could, if I wanted to pay $10, then they would deliver that ad to 1,500 to 2,000 people. So that if you're going to have a deal or an offer, you need to make it compelling. I mean, it has to be an offer that someone would be interested in and is a real offer. I mean, you can't just put your normal oil change price if you're shooting for service customers in there and expect people to redeem it.
Right. Lisa wrote in thanks, and we had a follow-up from Mitch, which is kind of along the same lines. Mitch was the one who asked the question before about the difference between deals and offers.
Right, I remember.
And he said, so with the deals, there's no way of them seeing prior to them visiting. Therefore, deals cannot drive them in. So with a deal,
that's not true.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not true, and I explained how you would do that, because you can share the deal onto your Facebook wall. So you can inform your fans on your Facebook page that the deal exists, and then you can promote that post as well. So yes, you can inform them that you have a check-in deal at your dealership in that manner. But for them to actually claim the offer, once they get to your dealership, then yes, they have to use their mobile phone. They have to go onto Facebook and go to check-in, go through that process of actually checking in to get that, the redemption screen will at that point show to like the cashier or whoever the designated person is.
Okay, and Mitch already wrote in and said thanks, he's got it. So thank you so much for that. And we have a ton of questions, so we're going to try and get to everyone's question. We're just going to go knock them out one at a time, okay? So stick with us. Next question comes to us from Patrick. He says, would you use Facebook deals and Foursquare together at a dealership?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why I try, this particular webinar was just about Facebook, but, personally I would use, every location-based service that you could. Again, because Foursquare, also offers a similar service, and it's free as well. So, and again, you can manage it, you can micromanage it as much as you want, or you can make it a turnkey solution, and just make it and leave it, basically.
Gotcha.
So there's no reason why you shouldn't be using both. Absolutely, that's the question, because you want to capture people where they are, and like personally, I tend to use Foursquare a lot, and I would see.
And I never use Foursquare. I always check in through Facebook.
Right. Exactly.
And it takes all kinds. There's all different. That's why we have over 31 flavors at the ice cream store. So, all right, Patrick, I hope that helped you out. Next question is from Austin. He says, what do you think about posting the same thing but at different times in a day?
Ooh, that's tough. I wouldn't do it personally. I would advise against it. If for some reason it's like so great of a content, so that you feel you need to share it more than once, I would do it on different days. And not only that, but you want to make sure you're saying it in different ways, because let's say someone sees it twice, now they might get annoyed. Whereas if you almost created a different post out of it, like let's say you're
just
taking
reword it so that it sounds fresh and new.
Right, exactly. Reword it. Maybe if you're using the strategy like Audi where you're putting a picture with the link in the text area, try a different picture with and you can take them to the same page through the link. But if you have a different picture, someone may not notice or know that it's the same content. So if you really feel like you need to post it a couple times a day, maybe you're having like a new owner's clinic or some kind of special event at your dealership, and you want to make sure it's seen by as many people, that's the strategy I would use. Got it. Austin, I hope that helps you out. Next question is from Patrick. He says,
can you please give an example of a dealership that is successfully marketing to their customers using Facebook, but not a manufacturer, i.e. Audi?
Ooh, an example of people that...
Yeah, and it's funny because he actually followed up and he said, Arnold, I just did a Google search of Three Birds Marketing in New Jersey and came across Union VW. Is that an example of a dealership using social media successfully? We just read their most recent newsletter.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that's successful, because if they're a Three Birds client, then you know, I mean, you know, I handle the social media, so all the things that I talk about, you know, we encourage our clients to do, and if they're on the level of our service where, you know, we're managing their social media, then, you know, I'm creating, me and my team are creating the actual posts and scheduling them out and analyzing the data and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, certainly, I mean, if I said otherwise, that would basically be saying I'm bad at my job. So, of course, I'm not going to say that.
Let's go with Union VW. Okay, got it. Patrick, you check it out and let Arnold know what you think, okay? Kaliko had a couple of questions for you. She said, how many fans do you have to create a deal offer? And do I have to sign up with Facebook Page Manager to create a deal?
I'm not sure what she means by Facebook Page Manager. I mean, she needs to be an administrator of her Facebook page to create one, but that's the only requirement. I mean, you have to obviously be able to edit the page and have the authority to do that kind of stuff. But what was the other part of the question? Sorry,
how many fans do you have to create a deal or offer?
Like I said before, for some reason the magic number to Facebook is 400. I have seen examples of dealerships, for whatever reason, that were able to create deals without having 400 fans. So, I mean, you know, bottom line is that I would go in and go into your Facebook page, click edit page, click on deals, and see if it lets you do it or not. You know, I don't work for Facebook, so you know, obviously, you know, I just do it by experience. And you know, in the sense of offers and promoted posts, they've publicly come out and said that you need 400 fans. And
Gotcha.
I have not seen an example of pages with less than 400 fans being able to use those tools. However, I have seen examples of Facebook deals being utilized by pages with less than 400 fans.
Gotcha.
But deals been around a lot longer, so that might be why. I don't know. I mean, the Facebook deals have been around for I would say a couple years. I don't know exactly when they launched, but I would say at least a couple years.
Gotcha. Okay. Mitch wrote in. Oh, Kaliko, I hope that helped you out. Certainly, if you have a follow-up question, please let us know. Mitch wrote in, so what you are saying is post a link to your new blogs on Facebook?
Oh, absolutely. Why? Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to share your blog post? I mean, again, it goes back to a passive versus active. You know, to somebody that, you know, if you're publishing a blog, there's no reason why your audience wouldn't want to see that content. Because, I mean, assuming you're writing compelling content on your blog, yeah, I mean, absolutely post a link on your Facebook page to your blog, because then, you know, that's going to then drive traffic to your blog, and that's where they're going to read your content. So, I mean, share blog posts, any kind of content that you create, share it at as many places as you can.
I think that's great. And last question from Caitlin. She wants to know, do you think car selling deals/promotions should be on a different Facebook page than those for service deals/promotions? Or should they be on the same Facebook? That's a really interesting question. Should your fixed ops stuff be on a completely separate Facebook page than the stuff that you use to, you know, try and get people to come in and sell cars?
So to clarify, you know, is she asking, should my dealership have two Facebook pages, like a service-related one and a sales-related one?
Yes.
That's what No, I don't suggest that at all. As a matter of fact, you know, the way Facebook Pages works now is that you can link it to a location. So, you know, in that sense, you know, when people check in and do all that, it actually shows it on your Facebook page. So you can only have one page linked to a location. So if you were going to have two separate pages, which is possible, then the problem becomes, you know, how do you get fans? So you're, you know, to both of those pages. It's hard enough to get a fan on one page, but, you know, how do you get, let's say you have 200 fans, you know, you're going to want that same audience on both pages. So rather than, you know, duplicate your efforts, I would just mix up the offers personally, and you know, you're going to see the results. There are statistics for the deals and offers. You know, it shows how many are claimed. It shows all that stuff, and you know, you can then take those that information and see, you know, if you're tracking it, see how many people actually utilize that offer. And so you're going to get a good idea in a few months what kind of offers that your audience wants to see.
Gotcha.
And will use. I mean, because obviously a deal on your Facebook page or at your location or an offer that nobody redeems is worthless.
And I'm sorry to do this to you, Arnold, but we did have one follow-up question from Mitch.
It's okay.
He just wanted to know, where on the page do you find the deals? Is it under Create Ad?
No. So if you're on your Facebook page, at the top, there's going to be something that says Edit Page, and that's where you would go, you know, if you wanted to change your mission and statement or any information about your page. And I could actually go back to that slide if you want, but then you're going to go to Edit Info, and on the left-hand side, there will be a list of all the different stuff that you can edit, and the very bottom, the very last option should say Deals. If
Gotcha.
you click on that and you've never had a deal before, then you'll be prompted like to create a deal. If you had a deal before, then it's going to show it's going to show the deal, and you know, if it's not active, it'll say expired and all that. And again, if you're going to run a deal, you can only have one active at a time.
Oh, I see. Okay, and Mitch also sees it. He already wrote in, I see it, thanks. So, Arnold, we are past the top of the hour, but I want to thank you so much for such a great, informative, educational, fun, interactive webinar. It was really, really spectacular. You should be very proud of yourself. I must have you on my show again sometime. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later, right, Arnold?
Yeah, no problem. And I appreciate everyone that came and listened to me, and I hope I was able to be helpful and that you learned something. And I'm certainly willing to answer any more questions if there are any. My email address is on the screen, and feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much. People are already writing in saying thanks and great presentation. So, Arnold, it really was spectacular. Now, of course, we're past the top of the hour. Any questions that weren't answered during the time allotted, and there is a few, they'll be answered by email later today. Right, Arnold?
Absolutely.
There we go. I want to remind the audience that a link to download a copy of today's webinar recording is also going to be emailed to you later today for your reference. Please feel free to share it with friends and colleagues. And today's webinar is also going to be posted online within 24 hours. All you have to do is go to dealeron.com/webinars. And from there, you'll be able to view our upcoming webinar schedule and access any of our past webinars, too. Also, at the conclusion of this webinar, in just a few minutes, you're going to receive a short survey. Please fill it out, because we always look for great feedback from our audience. And today, we're going to randomly select some winners from all the completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. And yeah, Dealeron's going to be at the upcoming Digital Dealer Convention in Vegas, baby. So if you're going to be there, come visit us at booth 1211. I'm going to be there. I want to meet you. I want to hear from you. I want to see you. I want all that stuff. So please come to Vegas. And there's still time to get tickets and airfare. It's October 23rd, 24th, 25th at the Mirage. And there's going to be some great speaking sessions there. 3 of the great speaking sessions are right there on your screen from some members of the Dealer On executive team. I'm certainly sure that they would appreciate your attendance there. And hey, Three Birds Marketing is also going to be there at booth 1209. So if you're going to be in Vegas, please take a moment to visit them as well and sit in for their presentation with Three Birds president and co-founder, Kristen Judd. And I got to tell you, she's a great speaker. And I'm also pleased that she'll be doing an upcoming Dealer On webinar on January 24th about social media. So she's really fantastic, and you really don't want to miss out. So if you can't catch her in Vegas, then please don't forget, we're going to have her on a Dealer On webinar in January. And if you can't make it out to Vegas, then I hope to see you all on our webinar on Thursday, October 25th. We're going to be broadcasting live from Vegas. I love saying that. And right from the Digital Dealer Convention with none other than Ali Amirazvani, President and CEO of Dealer On. He's going to be telling us all about advanced SEO for dealers, what still works on Google, something every dealership needs to know. So if you want to stay on top of Google's local listings and immediately improve your SEO, then this is one webinar you just cannot afford to miss. And like I said, another fabulous presentation by your friends at Dealer On. Don't forget, Dealer On's weekly webinars are held every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we have some really great webinar subjects planned for this year. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions regarding these webinars and our topics, please feel free to contact me directly. Again, my name is Eliana Raggio. I love hearing from you. Track me down online on any one of the automotive social networks. I'm everywhere. Or you can email me directly at eliana@dealeron.com. Thanks so much for spending this time with us today. And we hope to see you all on a future webinar in our continuing education series. Have yourselves a good one.